the price of plants around the world. G'day plant lovers, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kathy. For all my return visitors, thank you guys so much for coming back. I really do appreciate it. So today I have something a little different for you. This is a collaboration with 3 other plant YouTubers. They are Nicole from My Clean Leaves, Emma from Emma Greenwood's channel, and Miro from Basie Plants. And what we are collaborating on is just how much it will cost to buy the exact same 5 common houseplants that are readily available in the different countries that we live in. I'm in Australia, Nicole's in the States, Emma is in England, and Miro is in Serbia. And we thought you guys might be interested to see how prices vary according to where you live in the world for the same plants. And we will also be tagging other people who live in different cities or different countries. And I will also be putting all the videos into a playlist on my channel if you guys are interested in watching all of them. I should also point out that we don't necessarily own all of these plants. Really, this was more to find out how much it would cost anyone to buy these plants in our hometowns. So all the prices I will be referring to relate to what these plants cost if I were to buy them locally in Melbourne. I used places like Bunnings and also certain plant shops online, because at the moment we are still not allowed to go out and everything is still closed except for online shopping. Okay, so let's start off with the first plant, which is the iconic snake plant, Sansevieria or Draecena, whichever you prefer, trifasciata. I love this plant. I think they are unique looking. There really is nothing else like that in my home. And I love that they grow tall and narrow, so you can fit them in a lot of places where you may not be able to put other plants. They are also extremely hardy, almost indestructible. I actually have 2 versions. I have the plain green version, which I don't think is plain. I think it is gorgeous. And I also have the Laurentii, which has the yellow banding. But I am going to be talking about the green version. To be honest, I found that the prices for both were pretty much the same. Now I will be converting on the screen. I'm not going to do it as I go along, but I will definitely give you the prices in both Australian dollars and US dollars so you can make a proper comparison. Okay, so what would it cost you to buy a Sansevieria? I have several prices for different size pots, and I will be referring to my notes, so excuse me if I'm looking down. The 18 centimeters or 7-inch pot of Sansevieria I found for around 30 Australian dollars. The next price I've got is for a 20 centimeters or 8-inch pot, and they usually sell for around $40 Australian. And the largest size I could find was a 30 centimeters pot, which is a 12-inch pot, and they usually sell for around $100. I did once speak to a grower about Sansevierias, and they said to me that the reason they're a little bit more expensive than other plants is because they are slow growers, and so the grower needs to look after it for a lot longer before they're ready to sell, which I thought was really interesting. It's definitely not something I had thought of before, but I think the same applies for the Zanzibar gem or the ZZ plant. Number 2, Ficus Elastica Tineke. Tineke is a cultivar of the Ficus Elastica or the rubber tree plant, and there are quite a few other cultivars, but we are simply talking about the Tineke, which is the cream and green. I actually do own this one. They are quite beautiful plants, but they are much slower growing than, say, the green version of the Ficus Elastica or even the burgundy version. Well, definitely mine has taken a lot longer to grow than my Ficus burgundy, which just does not stop growing. And I know that some people seem to struggle with them overseas. I'm wondering if it's maybe that our climate is different, because I definitely don't find that I have any leaf drop or I have issues with them generally. Okay, so how much would it cost you to buy a Ficus Elastica Tineke? I found 3 different sizes for this plant. The first size I found was 12.5 centimeters, which I think is around just under 5 inches, and that cost around $10, which is very reasonable, but it's a small plant obviously. The next size I found was a 20 centimeters or 8-inch pot, and they are priced around the $35 mark. And then for a bigger plant at say 30 centimeters or 12-inch pot, they go for around $100 as well, similar to the Sansevierians. Okay, number 3, the Spathiphyllum or peace lily. Just the regular peace lily. I know that there are different cultivars that go for a bit more money, but we're talking about your basic peace lily. And I don't even like to use that term. We're talking about the common peace lily. If you've ever walked into Bunnings in Melbourne, there are hundreds of them usually. They're very, very popular. I actually don't own any because I'm really not a big fan of peace lilies, though I do admit that some of them are quite beautiful. I know that some people struggle with them and some people don't. I believe they require a lot of water, but they can tolerate very low light, which is very much contradictory to most other plants. Usually when a plant requires a lot of water, it's getting a lot of light, but clearly peace lilies are different. But I only found 2 sizes of peace lilies. I found a 13 centimeters, which is roughly around 5-inch pot, and they go for $12, which is very reasonable. And the next size I found was around 17 centimeters, which is 6.5 inches, and they go for $25, which I thought again quite reasonable for quite a good sized plant. Number 4, the Parlour Palm, Camindoria elegans, and I still don't know how to pronounce that. I actually just did a care guide a week or so ago, so clearly I do own one, and I do love these plants. I think they are beautiful. I think out of all the palms, these are definitely one of the easiest to look after. I know that a lot of people struggle with certain other palms, but these ones are very, very forgiving, and they're much more compact. Well, I found 2 different sizes online. There is a smaller version, which is the 13 centimeters or 5-inch pot, which sell for $10. And the next size I found was an 18 centimeters or 7-inch pot, which sells for $20. Very reasonable prices for the Parlour Palm, and an 18 centimeters pot is quite a good size. Clearly they're a little bit cheaper even than some of the other plants I've listed in this video. Perhaps that's because they're not as popular, which I think they should be because I just love mine and I think it's gorgeous. Okay, now the last plant, number 5, is the Calathea Rosiopicta Medallion. I think most of the Calatheas are pretty much the same price, except perhaps for newer cultivars. But the Medallion has been around for quite a while, and you do see them in most plant shops. I think they're still very popular, even though they can be notoriously difficult. I have one which is down to its 1 leaf at the moment. It did not like winter at all. I'm hoping it will bounce back. It's not dead, but you never know. They are, I think, a little bit trickier than other Calatheas, which surprises me, because prior to winter, I thought it was doing really well. In fact, I think when I did my house tour back in May, I mentioned that I thought it was an easier going Calathea than some of the others I had. That has definitely proven to be wrong, because this one has definitely struggled. I actually had a lot of trouble finding any larger pots of the Calathea Medallion in Melbourne anyway. I have seen them overseas. You can get these nice big huge plants which we seem not to have in Australia. I really don't know why. Maybe because they are notoriously difficult to grow, who knows. Regardless, I only found 1 size, and that was a baby plant, or pretty much a baby. It was, I believe, a 13 centimeters or 5-inch pot, where the prices varied from $9 to $16, roughly anyway. I think it always will depend on where you buy from. Obviously, if you buy from Bunnings or from a supermarket, I do find that the plants are a lot cheaper. Not always in better condition, but they are definitely cheaper than if you would buy them from a plant shop or a nursery. Okay, well, I think that's all I have to say about the plants. I would love to hear what you guys think of these prices. Are the plants in Melbourne more expensive than they are where you live, or are they cheaper here? And you can let me know down in the comments, or you can contact me on Instagram. And now I'm going to tag 2 other people, and it is entirely up to you guys whether you decide to do this tag or not. I'm going to tag Pam from Pam's Pretty Plants. If you guys don't know her, and I'm pretty sure you do, then you definitely need to go and watch Pam. She is fantastic. And the second person I want to tag is Nicki from Plants, Pots and Whatnots. I just really love that name. I think it is so clever. Nicki is in Ontario, Canada. I think it would be interesting to see how much these plants would cost there compared to, say, even the States or England or wherever. And if anyone else is a plant YouTuber and would like to do this tag, please do so. I really would love to hear what the prices are in different parts of the world. And if you do decide to do this tag, you can let me know and I will definitely add it to the playlist. And before I go, I wanted to give a big thank you to Nicole, Emma and Miro for doing this collaboration with me. I love you guys. You are wonderful. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Well, that's going to be it for this video. I do hope you found it interesting. I personally find it fascinating, but then that's just me. Anyway, thank you very much to all of you for hanging out with me. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, you can subscribe to my channel. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Until next time, take care guys. Bye.